Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, Jeffrey Combs. It is 2 for Tuesday. Good to be here with you on Golden Mastermind Podcast, the 1 o'clock Pacific podcast that I've been hosting going back to 1999. I'm just going to reach over here for the coffee and be here with you and let the call populate, the Facebook Live populate, and we'll move into the inspirational portion of today's Facebook Live. If you are receiving notifications from me, that is from God, and if not, I do understand. On a Breathe, Release, and Let Go Tuesday. Topic for today's Facebook Live is called Refining Your Edge. And that edge is the fine line between courage and doubt. And as you refine that edge, and you cross the bridge into courage, you're going to be able to access the quantum field, and that's the quantum field of energy, and that's where your slight edge is. The slight edge is when you live in the know, in the now, and most importantly, you are in the present. And in the present is where you're in the eye of the needle, and that's where you have clarity, vision about the outcome, and you're able to breathe, release, and let go. I just took a 4-block walk, and I stood right in front of my house. I did a lot of breathing. I had a staff, I held it over my head, and I was surrendering to God. I mean, that's the slight edge. The slight edge is the release, breathe, release, and let go, and accessing your belief. That's refining your edge. Refining your edge will also come from the repetition and experience, the preparation, execution. It's from being in the present, being in the now, being in the know, and continue to improve your skill set. And that's your listening skills, your ability to communicate, that's articulating. Your ability to set up a sale, your ability to close the sale. When you're skilled in selling, that's an edge in itself. If you have a business that requires sales skills, marketing skills, branding skills, and you're skilled at that whole process of selling, then you're going to be in the law of the few, because most of society lives in an anxiety, a performance anxiety, and they have anxiety about selling. Is this sales? I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want to have people laugh at me. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to be offended. These are common commonalities that so many people hold on to that hinder themselves from being their best self. And as you begin the process of letting go, you're separating your feelings from the events that shaped them. As you start to refine that slight edge, then you're not that mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. That you are in the flow. You are in the ability to hear what people mean and not say. You do have the ability to listen. You do have the ability to articulate. You do sense, see, and feel what's going on in your field of vision around you. And that is the slight edge. The slight edge is inner knowing. When you know, it's the ability to download the content without questioning where it comes from, and then put that content into application. And when someone goes, well, how do you know that? Your answer is, I know. And if they continue to press that issue in your slight edge, you let go of the conversation, because the conversation is not worth your time. So the slight edge is the 1/10 of a second principle, where in that 1/10 of a second, you're in the process of it. And this, for the same situation for the other side of that, if you're not in that 1/10 of a second, then you're in doubt, and then you're in the and now you're thinking, processing, and analyzing, and you've effectively checked out of the conversation or the situation in life. So the slight edge is the reflex. It's the reflex of higher consciousness. It's the reflex of the gamma brainwave state. So theta is like this, theta and beta is like this, gamma is like this. So in that gamma brainwave state, you're in the flow. And in that flow state, you're able to articulate. You're able to speak on command. If someone says, Mr. Combs, could you let the audience know a little bit about your background? Now, many people go, they just checked out because they go into performance anxiety, and a whole story comes up about making a mistake, getting in trouble, saying the wrong thing, being the wrong person, being put on the spot, embarrassing themselves. That's the checkout that most people go into. In the slight edge, you'll step right into that. Dorothy, good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. In the slight edge, you just step up and in to that energy, and you can deliver on command. That's the slight edge. The slight edge is when you're on an airplane and you see someone of influence or affluence or energetically, they have the type of energy you're looking for, and you're able to start a conversation, or they start a conversation with you, and the conversation flows, and it leads to some outcome. It leads to a result. It could be you collect their phone number, you get their business card. There's an exchange of information, and it's natural, and it's organic, and it's flowing. This is the slight edge. And only a small percent of society lives in that slight edge, yet everyone could, because it's a repetition and experience edge. It's a preparation execution edge from doing the same thing over and over again, and then being able to self-observe the situation for what it is, letting go of the anxiety about the outcome, and being and staying in your power. It's in that power that you're in, that you're not the mind-body connection to the past events that take you out of flow and lead you to anxiety, fear, and doubt. The slight edge is, it's to define it, it's the ability to be your best self, and that's an edge. But many people don't live in that. They're actually their lower self. They live in anxiety, fear, and specifically doubt, sabotaging themselves, hindering themselves, blowing the opportunities that avail themselves. But the slight edge allows you to virtually self-talk. You don't have to talk yourself into anything, but in your self-talk, you're good enough, you're lovable, you're capable enough, and you're in that energy of it. When you're not in the slight edge, you're outside of that in an anxiety-based fear and doubt situation where the ego is processing the information, rationalizing, thinking about it, waiting for the perfect moment, getting ready to get ready, procrastinating, and avoiding. In the slight edge, it's just a natural fluid movement where you just naturally move forward. And when you don't have the slight edge, you pull back into fight or flight. And it's that fight or flight mechanism that most of society continues to live in, perpetuating the same feelings in an overwhelmed body. And if the pain is great enough and you've suffered enough, today is a great day to let go of it. The slight edge allows you to be clear with yourself that you don't have the ability to do 10 things at one time unless you're a very skilled multitasker. And in the slight edge, you're rigorously honest with yourself. You're able to see the situation for what it is without putting this undue pressure on yourself, and you're able to perform on command in a very relaxed body. And the more that you allow yourself to be this person that lives in the slight edge, this person that's not in an overwhelmed body, this person that's right here, right now, that's able to communicate, articulate, and in auditory skills, you hear what's meant, not said. And when I'm prospecting and selling, I have people that will be at the decision table, and they'll tell me they want to buy from me, but, see, there's their contradiction. And the slight edge is, I've heard this so many times, and I understand what's about to happen. I want to buy from you, but and then they'll put it off out in the future. Or they'll even tell me that they want to think about it, and they'll get back to me that day. Now, in that slight edge, I know that the probability of any of these people getting back to me is around 1%, because that's the history, and in the duration of my career, that's what happens. So I have no attachment to this, knowing that this person is lying to me. And as tradition and statistics will prove this out. When someone says they're going to get back to me, it is such a small percent that it's around 1%, about 1% on a good day. And even when someone says, I'll get back to you for the end of the day, in the slight edge, I have no attachment to this. I know the person is telling themselves what they think I want to hear, and then they don't get back to me. That's what happens. And the slight edge is, I'm not attached. In true humility, you can't be humiliated. So there's no rejection. There's no abandonment. And then that slight edge, I'm able to move right on to the next task, duty, prospect, lead, whatever I'm in that situation. When you're not attached, your soul is not tethered. You're not tied down to the radiator. You're right here, right now. You're in the present. You're able to let people go very easily and effortlessly with no concern about the outcome. It's a be state of consciousness. You're being in the moment. You're being present. You're being right here, right now, in a relaxed body. It's this relaxed body that you're able to breathe, release, and let go. And it's an amazing situation. It's an amazing energy that you're able to transmute that from. In that transmutable energy, you've now moved into a brainwave state called gamma. And gamma is the brainwave that allows you to access consciousness. And in that gamma brainwave state, you're now in the field, the quantum field. And in gamma brainwave state, the energy that's around you now moves, and that it has shape and it has form. And when you're in that energetic movement, this is when people find you. This is how the parking space gets found. This is how the seats begin to show up in an airplane for you. All of a sudden, this flight is sold out, and you get a notification that there's a seat available, and it's in a decent seat for you. You go to a game at Dodger Stadium, and you see someone you haven't seen in years, and they have a ticket, an extra ticket. I mean, this is when synchronicity is not a coincidence, because you are now living on purpose. Thank you very much, Dana. So good to see you. So the term purpose-driven and purpose-inspired means you're purposeful. Earlier today, if you get a chance, go to my, Tomas, you follow me, go to my Instagram account, and Dorothy too, go to my Instagram account. I did an Instagram live on gratitude. Gratitude is a very underdeveloped topic. I don't have one single book on gratitude, not one book. And if you look up gratitude in Latin, it has multiple terms. There's gratuito, gratitia, and the term grateful, it breaks it down for you. It's to acknowledge, it's to accept, and it's a level of higher willingness that you're in. But in all the content I have, of all the books I don't have one single chapter on gratitude in one book, yet Hawkins covers it in one book, The Map of the Scale of Consciousness, in the chapter on graciousness. However, gratitude energetically would constitute out, it would be a very high level of consciousness. In higher consciousness, gratitude would be in the 300 or 400 cycles a second easily, because it's a feeling of God and love, that gratitude. It's you're grateful rather than resentful. So the duality of gratitude is disappointment, frustration, and resentment, where gratitude comes from love, joy, and bliss, and a level of surrender. It's in that gratitude, once again, you're in the slight edge. And all of these situations that compound, that create the slight edge, giving you the slight edge to be your best self. That's what the slight edge really means, broken down, is I have the ability to create my ideal day. I am in this universe, surrendering to God, being my best, doing my best daily. I'm not procrastinating, I'm not avoiding, and most importantly, I'm not complaining, I'm not distracted. I'm fully present in this world today, regardless of what's going on in England, and regardless of what's going on between governments that continue to fight, between politicians who are pathological liars, and everything else that you're witnessing that I'm witnessing. What you're seeing, I'm seeing, and I'm actually seeing it tenfold, because I've been studying it for 40 years. So I understand. My slight edge is I know the truth, and since I know the truth of what I believe to be the truth, my truth is my truth, and I don't question that truth. That's my slight edge. And so when someone goes, how do you know this? I'm not going to explain it to them, because they're not in my truth. And my truth is solid. My truth is grounded on God. My truth is based on sobriety. My truth is based on knowing. My truth is based on being in my gamma brainwave state, trusting my feelings, not doubting myself, not worried about the future that hasn't happened, not in an overwhelmed state, not reacting to stimulus, not seeking an addiction. I'm not looking for a shiny object for instant gratification. In that state of sobriety, that's your slight edge. Any level of emotional sobriety is a slight edge. When you let go of the medications that you've been told about, when you let go of the food that is just absolutely toxic, when you start practicing detoxing and cleansing, when you're heavy metal detoxing, when you are fasting is one of the best skills you could give yourself. That will give you the slight edge. When you begin to fast, it's a reset. It resets your whole metabolism. Your body is an amazing machine, but everything you've done to it that has damaged your immune system, your lymphatic system, your adrenal system, and then the brain fog that you hold on to is definitely not an edge. That is a deterrent. This is why no matter how old you are, it's your responsibility to find that inner edge. Find that edge, expose it, be your best self. Find a business that you can monetize. Find people that you can collaborate with, that you feel warmth from, love from. Be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself about where you are. Stop complaining. Stop worrying. Stop whining. And do your best to be yourself. And if you don't like your relationship, your job, your career, or whatever it is, be your best self and create a solution and an exit strategy so that you can be in joy, be in bliss, be in peace. But the ego goes, yeah, but you don't understand. I do understand. I've done it. Everything I just stated, I've done. I've let go of everything I've ever owned before. I've let go of places, spaces, people, and other situations to find my peace. You deserve that. You can as well. This is Jeffery Combs, breathing, releasing, and letting go on 2-4 Tuesday. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to be here with you.